Are you being held back from making major changes in your life because of healthcare costs? I know it sounds like an ad. I promise I'm not selling anything. I just want to talk about how healthcare costs can hold you back. How's it going, Reinventors? My name is Amelia Sims. This is Reinventing You, the channel where you can be inspired to take your own reinventing journey so that you can live a life of joy, fulfillment, and purpose. I post twice a week, and I want you to watch all the way to the end of the video, and when you get there, give me a thumbs up. I've talked about healthcare cost before, and I do realize that this is a big issue. One thing that I did this time last year is I tried to get a new healthcare plan for myself because when I was working, my insurance was covered by my employer because I was a pastor at the time and the church covered my insurance. But once I retired, not only did I not have any income, but I also had to cover my own healthcare costs. So we got a double whammy. Right now, my husband's healthcare is covered by the church, and the way this healthcare system thing works with our churches is that our son is also covered under his plan. We don't have to pay extra for him, but it also meant that we had to pay extra for me, and it is not cheap. It's about $800 a month for our healthcare plan. One reason why it's so expensive is pastors are pretty sick. That sounds terrible. But seriously, pastors do tend to have a lot of healthcare problems because they don't take care of themselves. They're under this high pressure environment and they tend to not exercise, or they don't eat right, or that they're really stressed all the time. And that's a fact of life about pastors, and a lot of pastors that I know suffer from depression, which is really terrible, or anxiety, all of these kinds of things. And I'm sure that if you looked at the general population, maybe say, oh, other people do too, but that seems to be a big deal. So what I'm trying to say is we have very expensive health care, and even though if you had some traumatic thing happen, you would have fairly good costs. Up until that fact, you have to pay this huge deductible, and not everything is covered. And so even though it sounds like a great deal, it really isn't. It's a very difficult insurance situation. And then for us to have less income and then have to turn around and cover my health insurance, it really has been hard to do. Now, right now, I have a part-time job. I'm not even breaking even, but I'm closer. So, I'm getting better about bringing in enough income to cover healthcare, but it really is very difficult. So that is our challenge. So is healthcare cost holding you back? Maybe it's holding you back because of your career. It might be your relationship. Maybe you say, I need to get out of this marriage, but I can't because I can't afford the healthcare. Maybe you have a pre-existing condition of some kind. And even though you might get coverage on another insurance, you know that you have a really good thing going right now. Or maybe it's just your overall health. You know you need to be taking care of your health and you're not doing it, and that needs to change. Whatever your difficulty is, your challenge with healthcare is, please in the comments below, let me know. You could put healthcare challenge so I know that I'm not alone. Now, I have a friend who got very resourceful and started digging around. She was having difficulty. She was not working. She really looked for some alternatives, and in doing her investigation, she did find that she could be covered under the state that she had previously worked on because of, I don't know, some other issues. She was able to get coverage for her and a child so that she was, not paying so much for health care out of pocket, and actually had some good coverage as well. But sometimes that's what you have to do. If you have not done so, hopefully you've taken advantage of the open enrollment season. If you haven't, maybe look into that. See if that's something that could help you out. I know that healthcare can hold us back. I have another friend who was covered under, I think, a part-time job, but then she left that job and now is basically living without health care, which I didn't think you could do. But anyway, she's very fortunate. She's around 50 years old. She seems to be healthy. She doesn't seem to have any major health problems, but I do worry about her. What if she was in a major accident? I don't want that to happen to her, but I'd be very concerned about her in terms of that. I know I had a couple of friends in my former church that found a company, I guess, that was a Christian company, and if you met some criteria, I think you had to have your pastor sign, because I think I had signed off for one of them to get this health care. And it was one of these situations where, you know, they told you have to go to these doctors and you have to continue to go to church and you have to say, you know, you're worshiping someplace, and if you have some cost, then you can pay it out of pocket, but we limit it to this amount. I can't remember the whole deal, but there may be some other options for you out there. Please ask around. Don't let healthcare challenges hold you back. And if you have to go without, maybe, or do a lesser form of healthcare, look into some. There may be some local insurance companies around you that offer some, you know, basic forms of health care. Find out what you can do. If you aren't taking care of yourself, that should be the first thing you need to change. Maybe you need to stop smoking. Maybe you need to lose some weight. Find a way to deal with your stress in your life. Take care of yourself. Don't let those healthcare challenges get you down. And I am so glad that you made it to the end of the video. So now's the time where you can give me a thumbs up and check out this video on how reinventing is kind of like karate and this video on how to get your best sleep. Have a great one.